I got a museum update for everybody. Oh, wait, I'm not John Hancock. I got a different kind of update, and this update comes to us on my second channel from Dumez. Well, I'll get into Dumez's comment in a minute. Hold on there, Dumez. The update is from Scamzilla Tacos. He says he has recently seen other comments with the word museum, and they're not getting banned or deleted anymore on John Hancock's channel. And because I mentioned you, I'll mention your comment too there, Dumez. You say if John is sick of all the haters and the trolls, and even the legitimate criticism is truly getting to him, he could disable the Patreon and stop taking donations. Look at all this stress that comes from having these donations remaining open. Is it fair? Is a lot of the criticism for John Hancock fair? Is it too harsh? Is it not harsh enough? These are things I think about a lot. And a lot of people will come by here and they'll just assume that I have some kind of a, I don't know what a word to put it is, how they put it, a vengeful nature against certain people. And they'll point out, hey, you're talking about this person here, but you're not talking about this person. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people on YouTube, and I only have so much time. And a lot of you come by and you want me to focus on certain individuals. So I think about this a lot, and I hate how it just kind of seems like I seem to focus on certain individuals. But granted, there's not a whole lot of individuals right now with a game museum con. So you understand this, right? Okay. You say if he's sick of all the haters and the trolls and the legitimate criticism, why doesn't he disable the Patreon? Well, I don't think that's the thing he needs to do if he wants to get rid of all the haters and the trolls and the legitimate critics, because a lot of people have Patreon, right? I mean, GameSack, they have a Patreon. A lot of people have Patreon. I bring them up sometimes as an example of things. They have a join button, right? But they're not getting a lot of attention because they have the join and the Patreon, right? But John is. So someone like John might think that's kind of unfair. Like, why is GameSack not getting all this attention, but I get all this I get all this crap because I have a Patreon, and I tried to do the join option there. He tried to do that. The thing is, I think it's two things, all right? Number one, there's no comparison between a channel like GameSack and John Hancock. One channel, John Hancock, is a glorified show and tell channel. It's a very simple channel. It's show and tell. Sometimes there's some information on some games and stuff. Okay, it's better than some channels, but it's a glorified show and tell channel. Whereas GameSack is a channel where the creators, or now the creator, obviously puts a lot of time in editing their videos. They do, right? So, yeah, there's a big difference there. Also, Joe is more likable, and he comes across as a legitimate, genuine person in comparison to John, who comes off as very fake, bobblehead man, like he just seems shady. Now here's the thing, it's tough. It's really tough being a judge, being a decider of things. Like, I always want to make sure I get things right, because my words are very powerful, when it comes to deciding, right? Because I'm kind of a decider. My criticism is very powerful for these YouTubers. So I try as hard as I can to get it right, all right? I don't think I've always gotten it right in the past, I mean, most of the time I think I do, but sometimes it can be kind of stressful is what I'm saying, right? So one thought is, before I start to criticize people, or before I start to upload anything, I want to know that they really truly deserve it. And then I adjust the harshness of that criticism depending on how bad I feel something is. There's certain things I feel are worse than other people. I mean, you look at a lot of the things that we speak on here, we criticize as regards to YouTubers. People that never get in their comment sections, never reply to the comments. People that ban people. They shadow ban people for leaving just honest questions on a channel and everything. This is not something that just John Hancock does. Okay, we're not talking about trollish accounts either. We're talking about people that just stop by and leave comments just asking questions, all right? This is something that not just John Hancock does, all right? And, you got the Patreon, you got PayPal, you got straight up begging for games and things of like that nature. When it comes to doing certain things like that, John's actually not the worst as far as e-beggars go. The thing with John is, and he understands this, is it's really about the game museum. That's what sets him apart. I'll go back to talking about GameStack. Joe does not have a game museum con. He does not have one of those. All right? People would probably see right through that. A lot of people might not because he's such a likable guy, but he does not have one of those right now. The game museum is the core of everything. So here's the thing. John is also probably calculating a lot of things. He's probably thinking about a lot of things. Now, he's probably wondering, what would it take? Who was the person at Scamzilla Tacos? Okay. This person commented that you don't know how long it'll last, but people actually can. He's unbanned the word museum. As far as I know, the like to dislike ratio has been unhidden. These are two moves. Some people might say, you don't know why he makes these moves. Okay, maybe he made these moves to make it appear like, I don't know, just maybe as an appearance. This is a thought. And Dumez brings that up, that he could just be sick of it all. He could be legitimately sick of it all. Maybe he just wants to upload videos talking about his passion. Maybe he just wants to upload videos talking about video games. Maybe there's always a possibility. We have to keep our minds open to that possibility, but also to not be, what's the word here? Naive. To also not be naive. But being the decider, being a judge, it's a heavy burden. It is a heavy burden. I want you all to know that it's a very heavy burden. I'm just not a person out here like some people that just jump on YouTube and not really put any thought behind my criticism. Some people do that. Some people, I've seen critical satire channels where they just straight up just tell lies blatantly because they don't like people. They'll tell lies because they just don't like people. Right now, John Hancock actually came clean. If he came clean about the museum, if he had an upload right now, and I hope you're listening, John, if he had an upload right now, talking about all the mistakes he made legitimately, not that bullshit apology he did for Review Tech USA. No, if he had an actual legitimate upload apologizing for things and actually meaning it, not half-assing it, and telling people, hey, you know what? I really would like a museum. I would. I'm a humble guy. Doesn't make any sense for a humble person to want their own game museum. Okay, maybe he might go into that. I mean, that just seems to be a confliction right there. But if he actually had an upload and it was genuine and it came from the heart, and he told people that he was really sorry about, taking in game donations, all these monetary donations, which a lot of YouTubers actually should be, by the way. All right, let me put that out there. You should feel sorry if you're taking in game donations and monetary donations for your hobby YouTube videos, okay? But if he really came clean about the museum, I would be the first person giving you some applause, right? You should put me in a position to where I have to come on YouTube and actually, give you props and give you applause. That should be your goal. Make it your goal, John. I'm sure I'm not his favorite person, but make it your goal to really stick it to me by doing something like coming clean about the game museum. That's a thought, isn't it, John? That's a thought.